As per the most recent long-haul figure, AMP cost will hit $0.03 toward the finish of 2024 and afterward $0.05 by the center of 2025. AMP will ascend to $0.07 inside the time of 2026, $0.1 in 2028 and $0.2 in 2032. AMP value expectation 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.36. Today, AMP exchanged at $AMPified, so the cost expanded by 36% from the very start of the year. The Guaj AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $143, and the year-to-year change plus 293%. The ascent from today to year-end, plus 188%. In 2024, we hope to see $101 per 1 AMP. In the principal half of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $192. In the final part, the cost would add $913 and close the year at $205, which is plus 313% to the ongoing cost. AMP forecast 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring an increment. AMP cost would move from $205 to $366, which is up 79%. AMP will begin 2026 at $205, then dip to $177 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $1. That implies plus 283% from today. AMP expectation 2031-2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $366 to $473, which is plus 29%. AMP will begin 2031 at $366, then take off to $39 inside the primary portion of the year, and finish 2031 at $393. It is about plus 692% from today. Z2152 AMP value expectation 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $1,036. Today, AMP exchanged at $0.38, so the cost expanded by 4% from the outset of the year. The anticipated AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $128 and the year-to-year change plus 252%. The ascent from today to year-end, plus 240%. In 2024, we hope to see $81 per 1 AMP. In the primary portion of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $134. In the last part, the cost would lose $3 and close the year at $131, which is plus 248% to the ongoing cost. AMP forecast 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring a critical increment. AMP cost would move from $131 to $209, which is up 121%. AMP will begin 2026 at $131, then at that point take off to $145 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $159. That implies plus 322% from today. AMP expectation 2031-2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $9 to $448, which is plus 55%. AMP will begin 2031 at $9, then take off to $311 inside the primary portion of the year and finish 2031 at $333. It is about plus 783% from today. Z2124. AMP value expectation 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $1,086. Today, AMP exchanged at $834, so the cost diminished by 6% from the very start of the year. The determined AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $113 and the year-to-year change plus 210%. The ascent from today to year-end, plus 230%. In 2024, we hope to see $72 per 1 AMP. In the primary portion of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $118. In the final part, the cost would lose $3 and close the year at $115, which is plus 236% to the ongoing cost. AMP expectation 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring a huge increment. AMP cost would move from $115 to $255, which is up 122%. AMP will begin 2026 at $115, then take off to $127 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $139. That implies plus 306% from today. AMP forecast 2031-2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $255 to $398, which is plus 56%. AMP will begin 2031 at $255, then take off to $275 inside the principal half of the year, and finish 2031 at $295. It is about plus 763% from today. 0115204. AMP value forecast 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.36. Today, AMP exchanged at $0.934, so the cost diminished by 7% from the very outset of the year. The Guaj AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.75 and the year-to-year change plus 106%. The ascent from today to year-end, plus 122%. In 2024, we hope to see $0.5 per 1 AMP. In the principal half of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $1. In the last part, the cost would lose $0.11 and close the year at $0.69, which is plus 104% to the ongoing cost. AMP forecast 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring a critical increment. AMP cost would move from $0.69 to $0.171, which is up 148%. AMP will begin 2026 at $0.69, then at that point, take off to $0.74 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $0.977. That implies plus 128% from today. AMP forecast 2031-2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $0.171 to $0.08, which is plus 22%. AMP will begin 2031 at $0.171, then, at that point, take off to $0.173 inside the main portion of the year and finish 2031 at $0.186. It is about plus 450% from today. 0101204. AMP value forecast 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.36. Today, AMP exchanged at $0.35, so the cost diminished by 3% from the start of the year. The Guaj AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.85 and the year-to-year change plus 134%. The ascent from today to year-end plus 141%. In 2024, we hope to see $0.57 per 1 AMP. In the main portion of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $0.91. In the final part, the cost would lose $0.13 and close the year at $0.978, which is plus 122% to the ongoing cost. AMP forecast 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring a critical increment. AMP cost would move from $0.78 to $0.197, which is up 153%. AMP will begin 2026 at $0.78, then, at that point, take off to $0.94 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $0.98. That implies plus 150% from today. AMP expectation 2031-2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $0.197 to $0.236, which is plus 20%. AMP will begin 2031 at $0.197, then take off to $0.199 inside the primary portion of the year, and finish 2031 at $0.14. It is about plus 508% from today.